Swish, love you.
I love you more.
And my agent, Mr. Don Pagnotti himself.
You're the man, baby.
I guess I will take some questions now. Yes, ma'am.
How did you get the nickname Freak?
A lot of people don't know this, but Freak.
We met working at the post office.
All right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong. And do my best to represent Harlem.
And a great look at Chicago's front yard, Grant Park, and the tall towers of downtown. We've got a capacity crowd here at the United Center. This is it, opening day. The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my... Right now, folks, and the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, a special individual taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from Freak.
You know, and what a huge moment this is for him. I mean, your whole life has been spent leading up to this, and finally he's going to get to take the court in the NBA. I mean, his mind has to be racing like a million miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, there are all different kinds of pressure situations. This is about as nerve-wracking as it gets. Even so, I don't think it takes away from how much he enjoys it.
A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through one. It's the Bulls leading by 4. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective for most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court?
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
They've been a well-oiled machine offensively thus far.
They've kept the ball moving, Greg, and their opponents chasing after them. That's how they piled up all the points.
They've got Jimmy Butler. Tony Snell is out there with Brooks. Then there's Nikola Mirotic. And what a feeling it's got to be for this young player is that last bucket represents the first official score in the NBA from Freak.
Yeah, and he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but, man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, he'll never forget that first one.
Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And, Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Mirotic has a wide open look, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Well, what a season it was for Mirotic last year. Came on stronger for the Chicago Bulls. Continued to improve. Effective in the playoffs. Really a joy to watch in his first year.
And interesting, so much hype going into the season was about Dougie McDermott.
Yes.
Whether or not he was going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. It ended up being Mirotic. Most years, he could have walked away with that award.
He kicks it to Snell. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Hits it from three-point range. Butler's got his second basket of the night.
The defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. He doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
And here we go with Brooks running it up the court. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first.
Okay, good job battling them out there. Let's talk about some crucial areas from the first half. Continue to have smart possessions. Let's keep the turnovers to a minimum. That was a big boost to our offense. But we did get a nice lift off the bench in that half. I might want to stay with some of those hot hands, so everybody be ready. Okay, one more thing. A smooth flow to the second half is just what we're looking for. Let's keep things moving, but not at some kind of breakneck pace. We know we can take their best punches and hang with them. Now it's time to hit them with everything we got and see how they handle.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off. So for the Bulls, Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Dunleavy. And it's Brooks in for Rose. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Mozgov. Freak comes in for Kevin Love. Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for LeBron. And it's Iman Shumpert in for Smith. On the court for Cleveland, Freak, he's in at the 4 spot. Williams is out there with Iman Shumpert. Then it's Jefferson, and it's Varejao in at the 5 spot. Both shots good from the stripe. So it's Chicago now. and they can just dribble the ball until the buzzer.
Yeah, exactly. They got to be happy with the outcome here.
Elated, you're right.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
16 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Freak. Rebound by the Bulls. Brooks outside. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's Jimmy Butler. The fourth quarter was all him. It was like he couldn't miss, and it was just one basket after another.
Well, you know, when Butler's on the court, he's going to come at you in all sorts of ways. I mean, defensively, offensively, this guy can just flat out play. Let's not forget he's an all-star, too.
A tremendous night of shooting the basketball for him tonight. He was nearly 60% from the field. Ernie, 60. That's Shaq-like numbers. Okay, that's Kenny Smith-like numbers. I'm telling you, this guy was outstanding. I love the way he shot it all over the place.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet.
Coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in an NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
Cavaliers coming to an Eastern Conference contest in this game. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. You look at the Knicks. Still early in the season, but the front office and coaching staff likes what they are seeing from this team so far. Better winning percentage than last year.
And right now for the Knicks, seeing them where they are now, it's easy to forget just how awful they were a season ago. This is a team that's made major strides to lift themselves into the middle of the pack.
Boy, I tell you what, it's been a grit and grind effort for them. They know how to win, and that's not something you could say about them last year.
Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Cleveland also making a change. Freaks checked in for Mozgov. The Cavaliers leading by 6. Carmelo Anthony, the third pick overall in the 2003 NBA draft, was in some pretty good company at the top of that one, as I recall.
I mean, you had LeBron going 1, and of course, Darko Milicic was number 2 on that list. But how about D-Wade at 4? A little bit of a surprise, Chris Bosh. You know, all those guys, with the exception of Melo, have rings.
The Knicks making a switch here. O'Quinn's checked in. Here's Calderon, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Calderon kicks to Aflalo. Takes the 3. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line. J.R. Smith picks one up.
And now one spot the Cavs did struggle with last year was help off the bench. They were last in the league in bench scoring.
Cavs not scoring with a lot of their bench. A big part of that is they just didn't go to their bench very often.
Well, you talk about the Cavs and the bench near the bottom in total bench minutes played. The bench didn't have a lot of firepower, didn't shoot the ball well, and considering they got limited minutes, oftentimes struggled to find any kind of rhythm out there. That's a familiar sight. He hardly ever wastes his chances at the line. Cashes in regularly.
Shumpert against Aflalo. Freak sets a screen for Shumpert. 6 to shoot. Stolen by Serafin. Aflalo right side. No luck. Nice D from Freak.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
James, no good.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Right side, Williams. With the teardrop, it's rebound by Cleveland.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no lying in those totals.
And that's almost automatic anytime he can get the ball in that position.
We've got 1:18 left to play in the first quarter. And Thompson throws it down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Aflalo goes in, and he gets it to go. Aflalo's got 9.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Williams passes to Thompson. Picked by Williams. Shumpert with it, now guarded by Aflalo. Shumpert dishes to Freak. Shot clock at 5. Off target from three-point range. Knicks trail by 5. And Aflalo kicks to Calderon. Off target from outside.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
Now here's James. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Utah. Shumpert passes to Thompson. It's rebounded by Serafin. Outside Williams from deep three-point range. No good on that last second attempt there. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Cleveland ahead, leading by 5. The second quarter comes. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself. Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media he and LeBron deal with, but also, perhaps. So for the Knicks, Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Porzingis, and it's Williams in for Aaron Aflalo. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Freaks checked in for Verjao. Tristan Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. James checked in for J.R. Smith. And Shumpert in there for Williams. So on the floor for Cleveland. Filling out the wings, it's Shumpert and LeBron. Freak is out there with Tristan Thompson. And it's Irving in at the 1 spot. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Knicks.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Shumpert, no good.
And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
Calderon dishes to O'Quinn. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. The Cavaliers trail by 7, and Shumpert kicks to Freak. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. And pushing it up, here's New York. Anthony leading the charge. Here is Calderon. 8 points for him. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
And right before Carmelo went down with the injury last season, it seemed like he had added the fadeaway to his game, molded a little bit after Dirk Nowitzki.
Here's Irving. It drops for his third basket. He's missed only one shot.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
New York leading by 8.
I'd like to see him use a little clock here.
I agree with you. Milk the clock with this possession. That's what they've got to be doing.
Here's O'Quinn. It's rebounded by Cleveland. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. For the Knicks, Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Williams in for Jose Calderon. And then for Cleveland, Freaks checked in for Mozgov. Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. And Shumpert in there for Smith. Porzingis is out there with Kyle O'Quinn. Then it's Derek Williams. Then it's Kevin Seraphin. And it's Anthony in at the 2 guard. That's the 5 for New York right now.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And, Greg, I've got to admit to you, I mean, I did not think they were going to get all the way back. I thought they were done. They've shown some serious resilience and character to battle this far back.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. And Seraphin throws it down.
And, guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G.A. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting them get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
Here's Freak. Nails the baby hook. Freak's got the game tied up here for Cleveland.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
And stolen by Kyrie Irving. It's a tie game in New York. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our 4th quarter coming. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. So a close game sees New York.
Jose, congratulations on the win here tonight.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Many thanks, Kevin. And now a chance to check out some of the tremendous play tonight.
His play off the bench was critical in getting them back into the win column. Their last game didn't go as well for them, but he helped them get on track. He provided a spark, he had energy, toughness, everything you need to get that momentum going.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Mad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell, and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know our lives.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We actually, we have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood could have made
Oh, man. Anthony Davis. One of the most unique talents in the NBA. I see a lot of myself in him. And I can't wait to face him and see if I can get the upper hand. I know I'm still a rookie, but it's the ultimate test to see where my game is at right now. And I live for these moments. So bring it on, Brow.
Look at the afterglow of light bathing the Mississippi River in the Crescent City, New Orleans. We've got NBA basketball in store from New Orleans, Louisiana, the home of the Pelicans, right here on 2K Sports. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. You look at Cleveland, a great start to the season for them, notching 3 wins to tip it off.
They have really hit the ground running this year. It's hard to imagine things coming together for them any better or quicker. They've been dominant in the early season.
Yeah, not the team you want to face right now. Never mind midseason form. They've been playing in championship form here early on.
Look at Cleveland's starting group. Love and Verjao are up front. J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. And it's Irving in at the 1.
And for the Pelicans last year, they were at their best when they had great ball movement. Very tough to guard their team when the offense was so active.
Smith. Holiday against Irving. Will not go. This is off the front iron. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Alvin Gentry. He said that the key to the game will be how well they defend Kyrie Irving, adding he's shown himself to be one of the premier point guards in the game already, whether it's passing, shooting, or...
Pelicans. Anderson comes in for Tyreek Evans. And a switch here also for Cleveland. Freaks checked in. Now, here is Irving. Against Washington, he was really on his game. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Holiday, the pass to Ajinça. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday.
They worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening quarter.
And if they match that effort at the defensive end, watch out.
Freak sets a screen for Love. To the inside. James with the bucket.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Pelicans leading by 9. Holiday dishes to Ajinça. Gordon with it. Now Smith defending. Davis kicks to Gordon. And the basket good. Gordon's got 7 points.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
Irving drives in. No one near Smith as he lets it go. Kicks it out to Love. Drills it from outside.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
There's 1:26 left here in the opening quarter.
And for Kyrie Irving, it had been a long time coming. Last season, he finally played in his first postseason with the Cavs. And up until the unfortunate injury, he certainly made the most of it.
5 on the clock. A 3 from Anderson. And another 3 for New Orleans.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
The wide open look for Love. Offline with his 3. And think again about the playoffs last year, Clark. They weren't all sunshine and roses for Irving. He had to play through a tough leg injury in the conference semifinals, and of course the injury in the finals, the fractured kneecap, and he was gone.
Yeah, that was really painful to watch, seeing him go out for the rest of the playoffs. with that fractured kneecap, a freak injury, but he'll grow from it and be better.
Love outside. Cleveland moving the ball around. Here's Holiday. 14 points from him the last game against Houston. Dishes it to Davis. Great D that time from James.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. New Orleans on top. They lead by 13. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find ourselves in. But, you know, there's something to be said for developing all 4 years in college when that's the best route for an individual player. Nowadays, I think, unfairly so, there's a ton of pressure on young guys sometimes to leave prematurely. We'll see if Freak's decision pays off for him long term.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for New Orleans.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups.
Can you check out my channel and sub? I will do same.
LeBron and Thompson. Amon Shumpert is out there with Mo Williams, and it's Mozgov in at the 5 spot. Mozgov sets a screen for Shumpert. Picked by Mozgov. Here's James. There's the dish to Mozgov. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Bro.
Platoon swap here for New Orleans. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Freaks checked in for Mozgov. Love comes in for Thompson. Smith checked in for LeBron. And Irving subbed in for Amon Shumpert. Irving passes to Freak. Irving sets a screen for Freak. Shot off the screen. No good.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
Eric Gordon on the wing, covered by Smith. Floats one. Here's Ajinça, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. And the Pelicans lead by 8. Love outside. He feeds it to Freak. Smith kicks to Freak. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Looking at the Cavaliers over the last 10 and how they compare to the rest of the league, this is what we've got. Second in fewest turnovers per game. 4th in opponent points per game. And they're a top 10 team in three-point shooting.
And you gotta love how well they safeguard their offensive possessions. You see the ranking, 2nd fewest turnovers committed. Terrific ball handling and smart passing.
Gordon goes in.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
New Orleans shooting their first free throws of the game right now.
2 shots.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Take a look at what Eric Gordon's been doing. He's got 8 points, and he's put 1 3-pointer on the board.
You know what, though, Clark? It wouldn't be a bad idea going forward to try to let him do a little more damage from beyond the arc.
34 seconds left in the first half. Irving kicks to Smith. Pelicans with the rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Yeah, not a very inspired performance for them, particularly when they were defending. They just gave that hostile crowd plenty to cheer for.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jump shots, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was through the roof. You can't win if your defense isn't better than that.
On its way from Irving for two. 3 seconds left. Got a piece of it. And we've reached halftime in this one. Pelicans lead by 12. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline.
Well, Tristan, what do you take away from how this game has played out?
Hey guys, settle down for a second. I noticed a couple of things from that first half. We can't get anything to drop from three-point range. Our spacing's been terrible. Find those holes in the D and open the floor. Otherwise, we might as well abandon that shot altogether. Ball security has been another one of our strong suits today. Turnovers haven't been an issue at all. Let's keep that a focal point. And don't worry too much about our tempo this half. We'll take what the defense gives us, whether it's on the break or on the half-court set. And that's all I wanted to go over with you. Let's go play a good half of basketball.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. We've seen Eric Gordon really having a great game.
And he just went off in those first two quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
The Cavaliers trail by 12.
And it's strange to think that early last year, all the talk in the media was about the in-house fighting on the Cavs. Goes to show just how much better things are for a team when they're winning.
The shot blocking pair of Davis and Ashik inside. Gordon the off guard with Evans at the 3. And it's Holiday in at the point guard position. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Anderson Varejao. Well, as rough as the Cavs might have started the season, Clark, they were all at peace near the end. Things turned around certainly after the All-Star break. Had their amazing playoff run, great momentum, and that confidence showed every game they played.
Really did, and I thought the big three found a way to come together nicely and smooth out the rough spots, and James, Irvin, and Love ended up being the highest scoring trio in the league last year.
And for Varejao, his wild hair and frenetic style long ago earned him the nickname Wild Thing. I mean, diving for loose balls, taking charges, but that energy and enthusiasm may be unsurpassed really by any other player in our league.
Good. Evans has got the lead up to 13 now for New Orleans.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Wizards gave them a bit of a boost. He picked up 5 points and played some lockdown defense as well, causing havoc on both ends of the floor. He was just too much to handle as he came off the bench to turn in a great outing, guys. They hope it continues.
Thanks, Doris. He had a heck of an outing that night, GA.
Yeah, he really did, Kevin. I mean, a very professional performance. Played hard every single second he was on the court.
Guys, that's what we expect from him, and he rarely lets us down, and he certainly didn't let us down that night.
Well, Greg, you're talking about Verjao. He may play wild, but his production has backed it up. A few years ago, he averaged, Clark, over 14 rebounds a game.
Yeah, and I don't think he plays that wild. I think he just looks wild. That hair flying all over the place, and he's giving up his body. I don't know if he's necessarily a wild player as much as he just looks and appears to be everywhere at all times. Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Gordon. Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
No good on the second free throw. Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big...
Let's get some stops. Sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult while they're trailing?
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
I tell you what, guys, I don't care what the score is. That's the play we're going to remember when this game is over.
Irving kicks to Verjao. LeBron drives in. Back to Verjao. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And guys, last season was a painful one for Anderson Varejao. He had finally shaken the back injury that sidelined him the year before, signs the multi-year contract extension with the Cavs. Things were starting to look up. Then only 3 weeks later, he tears the Achilles and was ruled out for the season. You talk about a tough break.
That's good from Anderson Varejao. And adding insult to injury, certainly, Greg, as you were talking about, Varejao played well at the start of last season. Shooting 56% from the field. Clark, I think he was over 70% from the line. Those were career highs.
Yeah, and a terrible blow for Varejao and the Cavs because of that injury, the Achilles tendon. But it led to the deal for Mozgov, and that's worked out quite nicely.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. And Cole kicks to Davis. Here's Cole. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
The second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
James against Evans.
Move the ball.
LeBron dishes to Irving. Irving double team. To the paint. Here's Thompson. Can't hit. Davis with some nice D.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Feeds it to Pondexter. Clock at 6. Perkins with a screen on LeBron. Evans with it. He's picked up by James. And it's Evans missing. The Cavaliers trail by 12. Evans with some nice D.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting. And with the way the Warriors went on a rampage last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors offense, is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
Now with Gentry, his offensive prowess can't be understated, Greg. His peers joke and say he can draw up an open look for a corpse. I don't know about that, Clark, but we know he's talented. He's got a great offensive mind.
And you know that's right. And with this Pelicans team, he has plenty of firepower to work with, too.
Oh, he does. You're right. First one falls for him. And for Norris Cole, such an important role player, Greg, for Miami for a number of seasons. Last year, shooting percentages dipped, and that is one of the reasons why he was probably traded to New Orleans.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I think, had to do with somebody dipping out of town.
Yeah,
LeBron James,
that
would probably change the quality of your shots. But both figures did go up dramatically once he got to New Orleans. And remember, now he's playing with another great player in Anthony Davis.
You know, going back to Norris Cole last year, after the trade to the Pelicans, he shot better than he had in his entire career. That and the 2 championship rings he brought with him really helped the Pelicans take the next step in the team's development.
He dishes it to Ajinça. LeBron against Anderson. Ajinça the pass to Cole. Screened by Perkins. .136 left in the third.
And, you know, talking about Norris Cole, this is a young man who still has plenty of upside. His assist-to-turnover ratio is solid. He's a competitive defender. I like where his game is going right now.
It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. And the Pelicans lead by 12.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against the Washington Wizards.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys. It was really quite shocking and disappointing how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And guys, for Drew Holiday last season was a tale of 2 halves. Over the first half, he displayed the leadership and the playmaking skills the team had originally acquired him for.
You know what, Kevin? Over the second half of the year, everything just kind of fell apart for Drew. He couldn't shake an injury to his lower right leg, and as a result, had to watch from the bench as his team fought for its playoff lives.
Omer Asik, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Gordon comes in for Norris Cole. Kevin Love's checked in for Cleveland. Both free throws good from Holiday.
And when you talk about Holiday, the Pelicans really needed his contribution last season. He can score and distribute the basketball equally as well. An excellent all-around defender. Exactly what you want in a point guard.
So it's a narrow victory for the Pelicans.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Drew Holiday. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, but he does make the big plays, and he made them throughout this one.
Boom, boom, boom. That's right, Ernie. Instruments. This guy was instrumental tonight in making sure they avoided a second straight loss. They needed somebody to step up tonight, and he was their guy.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.